Good day, YouTube, and welcome to Bishop's Blast. Once again, I'm your host. I go by the name of Dr. Mibane, where we dive into a sanitized version, or what I consider a sanitized version of a YouTube channel where we talk about all things firearms related. Now, I'm not a subject matter expert by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just an old retired Navy guy that loves God and has quite the affinity for all things that go. Now, at this time, do me a real quick favor, if you don't mind tapping that subscribe button. And for all of you that have already subscribed, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're the only reason why this channel is doing what it is doing, and I'm thanking you for taking this journey with me. And while you're already doing me favors right off rip, why don't you go ahead and type that like button if you don't mind. Share this with somebody if you don't mind, so that we will be able to continue to share this content in this platform. So once again, I welcome you to another edition of Bishop's Blast. Come on, let's get it in. Now, since we're here, I want to go ahead and start to answer the questions that I'm getting from the comments and messages that I'm getting. And one of those that I'm going to deal with today is for some individuals that say, hey, look, you talked about different firearms, some that are harder, some that are easier to shoot. What about something that maybe might be more female friendly, or for some of my octogenarians or some of my aged individuals, something that might be a little bit more friendlier for them to be able to utilize. Now, I do not discriminate one way, shape, form, or fashion. There's some women out there that are stronger than I am, so I make no bones about it. But there are some firearms, even for me, that it just makes it a lot easier for me to be able to utilize those. So I just figured that I would just share three, if nothing else, three of those firearms with you on today. So real quick, three firearms that maybe, if you're challenged by some of the other double action, single action kind of firearms, some of the ones that the slides are a little bit harder to rack, some of the ones that the trigger pull is crazy ridiculous, I'm just coming with three individuals that you might want to use, and it might be able to help you out when you're starting your firearm journey. So I'm going to start this in a way that like this one. So no particular order, but I'm going to start with this right here. This is the FN 503. This is the FN 503. I love this firearm, and I'm going to explain to you why. First, again, nothing in the firearm, safe direction, and shoot. The FN 503. I almost gave away one of the major reasons why I enjoy this firearm. But so when I'm talking about these firearms that are just easier to manage, easier to utilize, one of the things that I like about this one, this polymer frame striker-fired pistol, chambered in 9mm, racking the slide is relatively easy. I don't know, maybe it's mine, but it's relatively easy with this firearm. Even though it does not have front cocking serrations, it does still rack relatively easy. And one thing also that I'll share with you concerning this firearm is, watch, I'm going to turn it a little slower. That's the dead giveaway. This is a very, very slim profile on a firearm. Look how skinny. Look who's calling somebody skinny. Look how skinny this firearm is. And it fits so good in the hand for somebody with an average size hand. Even if you look at the end of the day in this firearm, that chambered in 9mm, I think it has an 8 to 10 round. I have the extra capacity on there, but watch this. It fits so good in the hands. So being able to get a good grip on that, for some of you that say, hey, look, some of the other firearms are too bulky for me to be able to do that, this does a great job with that. And not only that, the trigger pull is pretty good. The first initial pull with this trigger is long, but the reset is pretty long too. So it's a long trigger pull, long coming back, but it's a relatively easy, smooth trigger pull. It doesn't give away, it's not gritty, it's just a longer trigger pull and a longer reset, but not bad at all. This is the FN 503. FN time to time, I've utilized this in my carry rotation. A pretty good gun and a pretty good firearm when it comes down to being able to manage it. Now, another one that's relatively easy to manage and could easily be number one is this right here. This is the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield EZ. This is the EZ edition. This is the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield EZ. Clear, safe direction, shoot. The M&P Shield EZ edition. Want to let you know this is once again another polymer frame striker fire pistol. I love the sights on this firearm as well. The EZ is the dead giveaway when it comes down to racking a slide. In this, it doesn't have full cocking, it has rear cocking serrations. It has sort of like a indentation at the bottom, a cocking indentation at the bottom. But I'll be honest with you, you grab this thing anywhere. The slide is 1911-ish. It is butter as far as utilizing this slide. Not relatively, this is probably one of the most easiest to rack slide that you're going to find. Man, does this work. Regardless if I have hand problems, arthritis, you'll be able to rack the slide on this. I love the trigger pull on this. It's a flat trigger. I love flat face triggers. The one thing that the elephant in the room, the issue that I had with this firearm when I first got it, I wasn't a fan of the safety that's here, the grip safety. Once again, because the grip has to be fully indented so that the trigger will be able to fire. Reset is relatively nice. M&P Shield EZ. It works relatively well. Then let me go ahead and give you the bonus round on this. If for some of you that take my public service announcement of if you're going to utilize a firearm, make sure that you go to the range and you practice utilizing that force multiplier, so that if you ever had to really utilize it, you find yourself to be proficient in doing it. But one of the things that most people don't like about going to the range, it's not the going and firing, it's the reloading, the reloading magazine. Let me show you this little spring-loaded magazine thingy. It doesn't get any easier than that. You can drop those 9mm full metal jackets in that like it's nothing. The M&P Shield EZ, chambered in 9mm. It pretty much doesn't get any easier than that. But if you struggle with that, and I doubt that anybody's going to be able to struggle with that firearm, but if you struggle with that, I'm going to have to switch calibers on you. But I'm going to go into, I'm going to go back to Taurus, and I'm going to deal with the Taurus TX22. So my number one will be the Taurus TX22. It is clear, nothing in there, safe direction, shoot. The Taurus TX22, chambered in 22 long rifle. This stippling is pretty good. Not that it's not that much needed in a 22 long rifle, chambered in 22 long rifle. But this, the grip, the little hump here fits very well into the palm of your hand. For some of you that say, hey, look, for those that wear gloves and feel like I don't want to have to take my gloves off to shoot, you have in the trigger guard, there's enough room for your finger with a glove to be able to go into that trigger guard. The Taurus TX22, racking this slide is relatively easier. It's almost like it's a toy. It's not a toy. It's not a game. But it's almost like it's a toy. So plastic E, if you will. But the Taurus TX22, chambered in 22 long rifle. The one thing about this, and not that these are bad, but when it comes down to one of the things, the reason why I put this one last, and one of the things that if you are a first-time shooter and you're trying to get comfortable shooting all together, this is a good platform to start off with. Number one, in your practice, 22 long rifle is cheaper than 9mm. Number two, when it comes down to it, a lot of times people have to get used to the noise of what's going on. Firing this is way less deafening on the ears than the 9mm, 40, 45, 357. Regardless of all the other calibers that you might, it is a little less. You still need to have your hearing protection on, but it is a lot less. And when it comes down to recoil management, it is almost non-existent. So to be able to manage this firearm, for anyone that's female and you're trying it for the first time, a guy, but you have arthritis and other issues, or you're just not that strong, you're some of my aged individuals that have issues with hand strength, this is an excellent firearm for you to be able to utilize. Once again, Taurus TX22, chambered in 22 long rifle. This is one of the things that if you're an avid person about going to the range, you might want to get one of those. If nothing else, just to practice plinking around at the range. Once again, I want to thank you to go through these three just possibilities of certain things that you might be able to utilize if you find yourself challenged with utilizing some of the other firearms that either cause you great angst from the trigger pull, cause you great angst from racking the slide, cause you great angst from the recoil management. These are three that you might want to be able to try, and I want to thank you for tuning in with me again. These numbers are growing, and it's growing because of you. Continue to get the word out for me, but I'm so thankful for the fact that we've got some giveaways that I'm already purchasing, and I'm ready to do so. So the more that we get those numbers up at the 500 mark, at the 1,000, and at the 5,000 mark, I'm trying to get up there to where I can actually give away a firearm one day. But I really want to be able to share this hobby, this love, this passion that I have as it pertains to collecting and utilizing and practicing with firearms. I want to share with you. So I thank you for tuning in with me once again to Bishop's Blast. Continue to tune in. I drop new content every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You just need to hit the subscribe button so that you get notified when it comes in. So once again, continue to tune in with me. Bishop's Blast, Tuesday, 4 p.m. New stuff's dropping in. So thank you for staying with me. You continue to have a good day and be blessed.